Hi guys, and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today in my swing studio at Drayton Park Golf Club, and I want to do a short video talking about the sequence of the downswing. So I'm going to forget the backswing for the minute and really focus on how we start our downswing. It's really important that we get the sequence of events correct, and it can be a difficult part to practice with, but what I want you to try and do is really slow it down, do some slow motion practice swings, going through each area, trying to feel that one part is firing before the other. Before we really get into this, all the social media you need for the TruGolf Academy is coming along the bottom of the screen now. So please check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, also the website address on there. So if you don't already, check us out on those ones. So the sequence events, what we know is that really all elite golfers have pretty much the same sequence of events, whereas we know that a lot of faults and a lot of mid-high handicap amateur faults are caused by a bad sequence in the downswing, where the downswing tends to start with their upper body. The easiest way to think of it when we're at the top of the backswing is we want to start from the ground up. Okay, so we're trying to start with our lower body. So as we start the golf swing this way, it's actually starting more with the upper body. As we start and initiate the downswing, it's actually starting from the ground up. So it's starting with our feet, our knees, our hips, our core, our torso, our shoulders, elbow, wrist, hand, and in that sequence that we're really trying to do it. We're going to keep it a little bit more simple than this, and we're just going to talk about our lower body, i.e. our legs, our torso, our arms and our hands. So breaking it down into 4 parts and how we start our sequence correctly. So the one thing to quickly say is what we tend to see with elite golfers is before they even complete their backswing, they're starting their downswing with their lower body. Okay, so we actually see a shift. Most golfers are starting around 50-50. Some are starting maybe 55-60 onto their front lead leg. But as they make this backswing, it's not a lateral shift by any means, but the pressure is building up into their trail leg. And we tend to see just before the completion of the backswing, when we look at force platform data, that most elite golfers have got around 80% of their pressure onto their trail foot before they complete their backswing. But already as they're making this last final move in the top of the backswing, we already start to see a shift towards the target, where we're seeing the pressure shift from the trail foot towards the lead leg. So automatically we're going from an 80% on this trail foot to closer, well, that shift to the left, closer already now to that 50-50 back. So we're starting to get our pressure moving towards our front foot, moving towards our lead leg. We want to start the downswing with the legs, okay? And we're going to be doing that with an increase of pressure into the lead leg. Now it's important that as we do that, we don't do it by moving our upper body towards the target, our head towards the target. So we actually increase the pressure into our front foot while keeping our head pretty centered. So the pressure is moving into my lead leg, and then the torso starting to speed up and catch up. Then it's going to be the arms. Then it's going to be, last of all, the hands delivering that club and creating that whip down the bottom end. What we see with so many amateur golfers is they start their downswing either with their upper body first or their upper body, hands and arms, at the same time as their legs. So we kind of see it all as one. And we tend to get high club head speeds here in the downswing rather than at impact where we really want it to be. So we're trying to reach maximum velocity at impact. What I would say with these, our legs aren't speeding up and stopping for our torso to speed up. It's just that they reach their maximum speeds at slightly different points in the downswing. So the legs will be reaching their maximum speed earlier, then the torso is reaching its maximum speed, then its arms, then its club. Okay, and we're trying to generate that maximum speed down at the bottom end at impact. So it's a tough one to practice. What I'd get you to do is just some slow movements to start with. So getting to the top of the backswing, or maybe just before you complete the backswing, start feeling like there's a shift of pressure into this front leg, into this lead leg. What they'll start to do is, as I said, we put the pressure there, but it also start to create some rotation of the lower body as well. So just before we complete our backswing, starting to feel like our pressure is moving back towards our lead leg. Then our torso is speeding up, then our arms, then our hands. And we're just going to go ahead and just do some real slow ones. Just trying to get that sequence of events happening as best we can to really synchronize this. We could use some tour sticks to help us visualize that. So simply just pushing one through your belt loops. I tend to use a bit of Velcro just to keep it a little bit tighter. But again, you could just try and get that visual aid of what the hips are starting to do as my pressure increases into my lead leg. You'll start to notice there is some rotation of my hips at the same time. But as I said, that is not a lateral slide. We're trying to pressure moving towards the target, then my torso, then my arms, then the club on the way through. So I definitely do it in slow motion to get that feeling of it first of all. Maybe just go ahead and actually do some in that slow motion as well. So you're feeling the hands are reaching maximum velocity, their maximum velocity at the golf ball at impact, but the downswing was really initiated with my lower body. Let me go ahead and just hit a full shot there for you. See if I can get that sequence correct. Very difficult to measure without 3D body systems, and we can look at force platform data where you start to see where you're applying pressure, but that of course isn't measuring what's happening with your upper half. So you'd actually need a body suit on. You'd need to really be looking at how your body sequence. I was lucky enough, I did all my PGA training working at the Belfry, and we had a motion analysis system there from TaylorMade, a real body suit on, and that really was an eye-opener to how good sequencing is happening to bad sequencing with higher handicap golfers. What we saw was high handicap golfers were creating much higher hand speed, but that obviously isn't always equating to club head speed, but their hand speed is traveling very quick, very early in the downswing, whereas the elite golfers tend to reach their maximum speed more at impact. And the other thing you saw, or I found out really, is that all golfers are slowing down into impact, but the best golfers aren't losing as much speed. We're all creating our maximum velocity about a foot, or should be about a foot before the ball. What we tend to find is high handicap golfers with a poorer sequence are losing more speed into impact because they're reaching more maximum much earlier on in the downswing instead of just a foot behind the golf ball. Let me go ahead and just try and hit one for you. So just trying to get that feeling of my downswing starting with my legs. It's over in such a short time, it's very hard to say, well, it's legs, torso, arms, hands, but I definitely got the feeling of my legs starting. I would suggest that if you start with the legs first, the rest of it will start to catch up and actually sequence correctly. So it's very rare that we get someone using their legs correctly who doesn't then use the other parts. So I think if we can get that initial move of pressure from our right trail leg starting to move into our lead leg, that's a real good start point. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for all the other content coming Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5:30. Cheers, guys.